psychologist, and he got it from yet another Russian psychologist. And what he's talking about is sometimes when we make mistakes, it's just a mistake, but it has results, it has effects on other people that are unpleasant. And because we're all nice people here, we feel guilty about it, right? And we start thinking, why didn't I think? What did I think when I did that?
It was an impulse.
Why?
Impulse.
Sometimes it's an impulse, and sometimes it's just an error in judgment.
Right.
We're all people. I'm gonna ask you to make a guess. Kids, you're allowed to participate, absolutely. I'm gonna ask you to make a guess. How many mistakes are you allowed to make every day?
Infinity.
Way too much. Way too much. How many mistakes are considered normal, average for any normal person? What do you think?
Still infinity.
Take a guess.
There's little mistakes and there's big mistakes.
Well, we're not talking about something deliberate or something planned. It's like, oh, I meant to call this person and I forgot. And the person was...
Zero.
Nah, that's only Rebbitzin here who is perfect. Then she doesn't make any
Five.
mistakes.
We say 10.
10.
Audrey, hold on. Audrey's right.
9.
5 to Marlene. What do you say? There's 5 to
5 and 10, 6.
5 to 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're so right.
Yeah.
The voice of experience, right?
No.
I did the same thing. It's the voice of experience. You know, if you make 5 to 7 mistakes a day, I texted someone a phone number. It was crucial that that person gets in touch with my husband who was unreachable at the meeting at the moment. I texted that person the phone number. I said, call him after 6. He will be available. And I skipped the last digit. And then I went into class and turned the phone off. And I was unreachable. So and I felt very guilty. It's not a tragedy. It created inconveniences. My husband gave me a car today without a drop of gas in it. Come on, from South Beach. So I called him and he says, well, you get off on 79th Street and fill up the car. I have, this is time sensitive. I have to be here. So I got upset and then I stopped and I said, wait a minute.
Love.
Okay. Yeah, you know this technique. Audrey, you remember this one?
Yeah.
Love, joy, courage.
I can't remember.
They know it. What do they know? Love, joy, courage, serenity. Love, joy, courage, serenity. If you go online and you go to our previous last months and the months before, you will see that. Meanwhile, suppose you made that mistake. Suppose you made several of those mistakes. And you feel bad because this person was expecting your call, or you missed an important appointment, or something else happened, you made a mistake, Ladies, have you ever put salt instead of sugar in a dessert? Honestly, no? You are perfect.
I only use salt.
Well, I don't use salt either. I'm saying, one instead something, a double portion of something. The phone rang and, I forgot that I already put something there, so I put it again. Or I thought that I put... Nothing drastic, right?
Right.
So what do? Many people tend to get dramatic about it. And with every mistake, you get more dramatic because you think, and I made a mistake again. And then you get more nervous and more anxious. And an hour or two later, just because you're more nervous and more anxious, you make a mistake again. And you think, at the end of the day, what kind of a terrible day that was. I kept making mistake and after mistake after mistake. We'll discuss that a moment later. But for now, This is what you do if you realize that you have made a mistake. I'm gonna ask you, you could do it sitting down, but kids spread out a little bit. Mushki and what is your oh, this is David. Okay, yeah, I should remember that this is David. Mushki and David. Spread out a little bit. Spread out a little bit. Give me a group. Like this. Yeah, width. Okay, with one hand. So the further, it's a 3-step thing. The first thing you do, you try to make it funny. You pretend that you are a cartoon character, that you're a little kid, and you spread your arms wide, and you sort of bend your head a little bit, and you say, blunder. Try to say it in a childish voice. Spread your arms, bend your head a little bit, yeah, like a teddy bear or something, and say, blunder. Can you say it? Blunder.
Blunder.
All right, because
Blunder.
blunder, yeah. Because if you were so dramatic, feeling like a total failure, I did this wrong, I did this wrong, I did it. You're making it funny. You need something totally ridiculous, totally funny to take the seriousness out of a whole situation. So if you're keeping your arms wide, here is the second step. The second step is bring them forward, cross them, hug yourself, and say, I'm good. I'm really good. I'm good. Right? And this is very important because we all tend to feel that there is not or a very little difference between what we are and what we do. In reality, what we are human beings. I'm a human being, you're a human being, you're a human being. These little human beings are still human beings. You know, Mushki altogether is almost a calamoid. She is a big and dog. They're big human beings. What a human being is and what a human being sometimes does are two different things. So when you admit that you made a blunder, and then you hug yourself and say, I'm good. I'm good. I'm allowed to make mistakes once in a while. I'm allowed to. It's okay.
What, every day?
Yeah, 5 to 7. 5 to 7.
You might not make 5 one day, but you might make
Right, on an average, right? And some people are perfect, they don't make any mistakes, but some people make more. You know what average is, right? In Russia during the war, they were selling sausage.
Which war?
Russians only count one war. When we say during the war, we mean World War II.
Okay,
We don't, talk about anything that was before the revolution.
okay.
But they were selling sausage that consisted of horse meat and chicken meat, and they were advertising it as 50-50. What's 50-50? Average.
Yeah.
Half a horse
Right.
to half a chicken. That's Yep. But that's 50-50, no? So anyway, so you said, but now it's time for action. Just like we say that first you need to understand what you did, understand that you know that you made a mistake. Then you do tshuva, that means that you admit that you make a mistake. Then you say, but I'm a good person. And then you need to make a correction, you need to make a tikkun. You do it very energetically. And yes, Audrey, you're going to pretend that your left arm is your right arm, because I know you're a righty. And Marlene, are you a righty or a lefty? You're a righty. We're using your working arm. Your working arm.
Let's do it.
Let's do it? Well, get ready. Get ready, David. Push it
That's
up.
what it says over here.
Push it up forcefully. And say, let's do it.
Right.
Let's do it.
Okay.
It says that right
Do it. Let's do it. Whatever needs to be done. If you feel embarrassed to call that person because you were supposed to make a call 3 days ago and you just remembered it, and you feel embarrassed, then you say,
I'm sorry.
blunder, blunder. I'm good. Let's do it. Where's my phone? I'm so sorry I didn't call. What can we do to
Right.
remedy the situation, right? And now, so we were talking about how to practice it. It is embarrassing to do it in front of people. Goes without us saying. It is embarrassing to do this kind of stuff in front of people. So, what they suggest is find a day, designate a day when you're at home, when you have no pressures, when you have no pressing commitments, appointments, phone calls, or what have you. Designate time to it when there is no one around and do it. Just practice these 3 moves. It's like, I don't know, I do yoga. So it's like practicing yoga. And eventually, your kinesthetic, your body memory, will send a positive signal into your brain. So next time, if you really feel bad because you forgot something, you confused something, you skipped something, that, and maybe someone got disadvantaged because of that. Things do happen, or even hurt, God forbid, Has V'Shalom. Then you just remember that. Wait a minute. 1/3. Let's do it. And that's all. And you'll see how it will send a surge of endorphins into your brain, and you will immediately feel energy to actually go correct every mistake you made in your life. And you will not ever feel bad about your mistakes. So, you need to designate that day. Then, a very good advice is designate a few days, perhaps even a week, to make little check marks. Maybe on a list, or maybe, I don't know, I'm very much phone operational. I do all the notes on my phone and all that, but just a little check mark with every mistake that you realize that you made, and total them up at the end of the day. And you will see that you have not made that many mistakes. You have not. And if you average them, as you said, Marlene, today you maybe didn't make any, and tomorrow you made 10, it averages to 5. So you average them out. After a week, you'll see, hey, I'm good. I'm actually much better than I had thought I was. So things are good, and things are looking up. And so now we are ready. On the handout, I'm giving you the source, which is this whole long 5 pages explanation, but it's not in English. But what you do is right-click if you really want to read the whole long article in original. You right-click and it says translate to English. And the translation will be somewhat funny. Google translations are somewhat funny, but you could read it. I just did not.
Was it Russian?
It's in Russian.
That's
Yeah,
it.
it's
Yes,
I'm sorry.
That's this one, the source, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
I
there it
always,
is.
I'm meticulous. This is not mine. And he is saying in his article that he got it from yet another prominent psychologist. We're very academic. All right. What are we doing? Hold on, I'm very sorry. I still have not. Okay. Still on the Let me sign in. So what we are doing today is, as we said, Florida is the land of fruits and nuts. So we're making a secret mango flour pie. Why is that a secret? Because you don't know what this is. This is the filling for the pie. And it's not tofu. And it's not, what else did you suggest that was there? Custard.
Oh, custard,
No,
yeah.
it's not custard.
Custard and mango?
I'm giving you all kind of hints, It's the land of fruits and nuts. Right? So, feel free to take a crust that you want, whether it's a chocolate or a regular one. Leila, if you're going in that direction, there are 4 bowls of topping. I kept them refrigerated and mango. Thank you so much. So every pie you've ever heard of has 3 parts to it, right? On the bottom, there is always a crust.
On the bottom
At home, this is a crust. So on the at home, I make my own crust, but here they're ready-made crusts. That was a little too much to touch. All right, you're gonna need that if you are gonna want to take your pie home, right? All right. Then comes the big secret. You can uncover the big secret right now. Take the covering off the big secret. This is the filling, and the filling is cashew cream. Cashew cream that has been soaking in some liquids, including chocolates. Yeah? How do you like that? So the recipe will be on my site, on the cooking site. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, goes there. Yeah, this is mine. Thank you so much. Yep.
What is this?
Hold on, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let's start uncovering these, and we'll get to that. Chip, hold on. So this is soaked. Cashew is soaked in some lemon juice and some coconut milk, and it's soaked for quite a while. Honey, at home I use agave. It's not that sweet, but you could use either one. Date syrup, absolutely. When I make a crust at home, I make a date crust, gluten-free. Yeah. It's on my site. I'll send you the links to my site. So all you do is you type in ingredients, date, and it'll pull it up. Cashew, it'll pull it up. Mango, it'll pull it up. So, and then you have it soaking for about an hour. Then you just put it through your trusty food processor. So what I suggest is start filling as much or as little as you want. I generally do not like too much filling.
Sorry, I missed it. What are the fillings?
This one.
Cashew.
Cashew and the
Okay. That is the topping afterwards. Don't worry about it.
That happened to me.
Actually, there are 2, I would spread it thin, but it's up to you. There are 2 types of cashews that go into it. One is raw. This one, the filling, is made out of raw cashew. And the topping is unsalted raw. Yes, when it's ready, I'll call you.
But leave only one in your ear,
This
because you won't hear her call you.
Uh-huh. Right. Meanwhile, while you're working and spreading the... Hello?
Can you get me a spoon?
Okay. While you're working, I would like you to think of an instance where you felt very strong inner strength and confidence. Something that was happening, some kind of a situation where you felt that you're totally confident, or that at first you weren't, and then you felt inner strength and confidence. When we're done with the pies and we send them to the refrigerator for a little while, because they have to be refrigerated before we start cutting them.
Do we have to put our initial on them?
A what?
Our initials, so we know who's in the
Well,
food?
we'll put stickers on top. You know, you have the cover, so
Oh,
we'll put
okay.
stickers on top. Yeah.
It works better with the knife to spread it.
Probably, you know. Yeah.
Works best with your finger.
Yeah, I was thinking of that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here. Hello, Mommy. Could you spread mine?
So I'm gonna tell you how I got my first
I don't like spoons.
job at
You want
Miami-Dade Community College, where I first
No, I already.